Good morning and welcome to the 50-cent tour of Wednesday, March 6th, 2013. I hope all is peaceful in your world this morning, at least in your personal world. We know it's not in the world at large, but that's all right. That can change. Please find a seat on the Liberty bus. We're glad you're here. We will commence our tour. How Napoleon had met his Waterloo and the Rothschilds made a fortune. I've mentioned the Rothschilds as kingmakers a couple of times, that royalty, regimes, governments can come and go. They remain and make money from other people's losses and sufferings. This morning, well, and even yesterday, there is a lot out there in the Liberty news about whether the president can authorize a lethal drone strike on American soil. Holder replied to Senator Paul in a letter dated March 4th, "It is possible, I suppose, to imagine an extraordinary circumstance in which it would be necessary to appropriate, under the Constitution and applicable laws of the United States, for the president to authorize the military to use lethal force within the territory of the United States." That is government jargon for, yes, the military can kill people. The U.S. military can, actually, the president could authorize a lethal drone strike on American soil. So it's good to know where you stand, right? Keshe's free energy technology will make today's military useless. Let's hope so. The sooner, the better, right? Russian leader demands investigation of Chavez's death. Chavez's death is the big news this morning. What does it mean? I really don't know. I would not be at all surprised if he was killed. I have been wondering whether there's just some big mafia-style gangland war going on between different factions of the leadership of the world, and man, they're dropping like flies. Hopefully the good guys will prevail. I mean, neither of those groups are good guys. Maybe they'll just take care of each other for us, and then we can start over, right? U.S. plots conquest of Venezuela in wake of Chavez's death. Well, sure, there's oil there. So it's not actually the U.S. who will benefit. It is the kingmakers, the puppet masters, the guys who are using the U.S. to advance their holdings and to build their world portfolio. I have a couple stories about the Fed, Ben Swan reality check special, Federal Reserve, Jekyl Island, audit the Fed, QE3. And to accompany that, a rather long, almost 2-hour, Eustace Mullins, Secrets of the Federal Reserve. If you need an education about what is really going on with banking, or you know someone who does, or if you just want to augment what you already know, those will be helpful to you. Tom Hennigan update for March 3rd. This is a couple of days old, but it says a lot about the Bank of America's margin call increased to $20 billion. I want to consider a little bit the kind of conditioning that has been placed on us, or that we have been put through. If you or I have something like this hanging over our heads, I doubt we could sleep at night. We are very conditioned to behave a certain way in relationship to finance and banks, with the powerful threat that if we don't toe the line, our credit score will be lowered. People in today's world, in the U.S. anyway, their value is estimated according to their credit score. This is conditioning. A credit score does not necessarily indicate moral behavior or ethical behavior. It indicates an ability to please the banks and to live your life in the way that the banks want you to live your life, so that they benefit and so that their bottom line looks better. Along those lines of conditioning free-range kids, this lady was a guest on Alex Jones' show yesterday. Catherine Albrecht is guest hosting, and she had this lady on. She talks about how our kids are being conditioned, and actually how parents are being conditioned to condition their kids to be helpless, wimpy, terrified of everything real in life. Again, this is a similar conditioning to the credit score. They're not crafting us to be upstanding, ethical, moral, self-reliant human beings. They want us to be dependent, confused, childish, retarded, if I may use that word, so that they can predict what we're going to do and so that they can easily control us. This is their shtick is all about control. They don't trust God, first of all. They think of themselves as being, they think they're on that level, and they want to hold the reins. And in order to do that, they are trying to redefine human existence and shape human existence in a way that suits them and their plans. I want to end with something positive. The body electric, early cancers can be detected and affected by bioelectric signals, study shows. So one more means to overcome cancer and to remove the threat of cancer. There's a great book by Dr. Tennant that is called Healing is Voltage. And our chiropractor friend, Dr. Noah, has told us that for many years the Russian cosmonauts have used an electronic device called a Skinner device to keep their guys who are on the space stations healthy, because they don't have the space, the capacity on the space station to keep a whole lot of meds. So healing is voltage. It's something to think about, and having an alkaline balance contributes to your body having the proper electric currents. I don't claim to know anything about that in a specific way, but I believe in it, and I hope that it becomes much more widely practiced. She who will walk in the dark is glad that you joined her on this tour of the day, and hopes that you have a great day. It is hump day, as they say, and the dawn is coming. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Take care, insist on liberty, and love one another.